Hello everybody, my name is Farmer Phil, and in today's video it is that time of the year and it is time to get ready for calves. So we are in the lean-to of the hay shed. Now yes, we do have some calves. We got 3 guys there on milk and we have 8 guys outside off milk working away. There are often born calves that'll be for the shop in 2 years time, but the main bulk of the calves, the main business, it's time to get ready for that. So we have to move a lot of straw because we've been we've used a lot of straw, but we have a lot of straw and now that straw is in the way, so now it has to be moved. Joy of not having enough sheds. Our calf feeder is there, it's washed, ready to go. It has to be serviced, pipes have to be changed, we have to move our seed, we have to tidy up out there, and it's time to get ready. Now this year is different than any other year. There's a couple of changes being made and we'll go through them changes as we go through the video and they appear. But the first change is, it is the 25th of February and normally by now this shed will be full of calves, and that is the first change. We're no longer buying calves under a month old. That is probably the biggest change for this year. No more calves under a month old, because we seen last year the calves that were over a month old or a month old and over never got sick, done way better than any of the rest. So we says this now, that is the first change we're making. So we went to our farmers and some of them couldn't keep them, they didn't have the facilities to keep them to a month old, so that was fair enough, but most of them did. So it's now month old calves come. Big difference between how hard they are to train onto the feeder, and also it means that we're not starting as early, but we have to just tidy up this bit here where we had the calves that are outside we're in, and where we had a few weanlings in the corner there. So we have to get that tidy up with the rearranged straw, and we have to clean that straw and put that straw in there so we can keep using the way that to bed the rest of the cattle. And then them calves that are there, they'll just get moved up to the top ready to go on the feeder. And also we have a new camera. We have an Insta360 X2. So this is a 360 degree camera, lens both sides. I have the cap on it to try and keep it safe, and we're going to try and film a bit with this. I'm only after getting it, so we're going to see what it's like. But this will be, I think, really cool when it comes to machinery work. But we'll have a play with it and we'll see what it's like. So that is the plan. So we'll get the telly, we'll get this book out of here.
And ponds and country songs, good old sweet home too. Broadway bars and loud guitars, backyard barbecues. Work on Monday, friends on Friday, college football beers. I got it
cleaned out now, so I put down some lime. The shed was power washed before all the straw went in, so it should be pretty good. Them bales in that corner have to be teased out and a few of them turned round because I don't want them out like that, takes up too much space. That space there has to be filled up. All them bales have to come out along that line, with the exception of a few chicanes that we normally do throughout the shed. And I'm going to start moving them to there, into that side to fill that up. Hopefully if I get to the far end, then them calves can move up there and I can fill up that bit there. As per usual, we'll use up that straw, then we'll have to move the hay, and then the calves will get extra space into the hay shed and so on and so forth. Same layout as the shed as normal. With one exception we have to do. Brucey boy is out there. He's out there enjoying himself. We have to move him straw out of the orchard. Yeah, let's just start moving straw now. I will set up the new camera on somewhere on the gate there, and we'll see what 360 looks like. Last straw to move out of there now. Could do another shed, but anyways, we get it moved. And now that is the straw moved out that side. Yeah, basically just put there for the time being. But also you would have seen the new camera working there, and I actually don't have enough memory on that card to get much more footage, but that's kind of what you're going to see in the future. It's inexpensive, but looks like it'll be a very, very good camera. But one thing I have found now that I'm not happy with is the floor is wet up here, and I was wet down to them pillars there, so I have to figure out why I have water coming in. Do I have a leak here? I think, yeah, I do. That is why I have a problem. That looks to be leaking around that. Lovely jubbly. See about, yeah, putting in a bit of new tape onto that. Or what I could actually do is disconnect that, reconnect it into our pipe here, which goes to our pipe there, and put our bowl drinker back on, which would be better for calves because it gives water to them, whereas this, they have to figure out to push it, which can take some time. What I'm going to do now is going to start tidying up here and let that floor dry a bit before I put down lime, and then put my bales back in for my chicanes. And what I'm going to do this year for the chicanes is I'm going to put pallet under every chicane and put the pallet with the slats going that way, if you know what I mean. The reason for that is what we found last year was the bales stopped the flow of liquid that way for going out of the shed, and it made a pool in every spot and it was soaking it up. But if I put down the pallets, as you'll see on our pallet here with winter wheat seed that unfortunately didn't get sowed, and the stuff that's on the ground, there was oats in the hopper, put into that bag, and well, the mice had a bit of a field day. There's that space there, so that should let any liquid go down and not be held back by the bales. So that is the plan, and we'll go with our chicane, first chicane there, second one there, third one there, fourth one there, and then one in the middle there, and that's going to be it. Or maybe skip one. So we're going to move machinery and get that done, and yeah, so we do that. We'll go out here and move some of this stuff here next. I might put in one of them sheets of plywood and just put it there just to block up that bit a bit better. Dogs are hell-bent on a few mice, so they are. I don't know how many mice. They've caught a lot of mice since they started, so they have a lot of mice. Anyways, we get at it. We're just going to chop 2 bales of straw in for bedding. Yeah, real nice loose bedding for the calves. 2 bales in, should maybe 3. We'll see how 2 looks. And as you would have seen there, we're back on our own old Teagle Tomahawk straw blower, and just on that, to clear up some housekeeping while things were going on, 2 demo machines left us, the Schaefer and the Teagle straw blower. The Schaefer, big thanks to Howard Fulton for leaving the West for so long. Superb, absolutely superb machine. Useless with the pallet forks trying to pick up pallets, you couldn't see what you were doing. But other than that, very, very useful, very good machine, and definitely has my mind made up that we need a wheel loader when we do go to upgrade or buy another machine to replace the teleport for the work it does. The straw blower, big thanks to Teagle Ireland for leaving it down with us, and again, superb machine, huge blow, serious job. The straw chopping element, we didn't use it that much, but when you did use it, straw was very, very short. Actually great for bedding the chickens with, because you got so short and lovely. We have talked about maybe trying one that'll take bales of silage next. We are kind of half debating about changing this, because one that'll take silage, because we have the red clover now and we're feeding that to the weanlings at the minute, it's just a couple of grabs in front of the cattle. It's not very evenly distributed, but if we had a straw blower that could take the silage bales, we could leave it along the length of the barrier and near enough every animal will get it. So we are kind of thinking about that, but that's where we're at. Big thanks to both men for sending them machines to us, and sorry for not just getting a good demo or review done on them. It's just how things laid out at this time of the year or just at the beginning of February. It is what it is. Life goes on, and the calves will soon be arriving. Machine is spooling down there. That's what one square bale looks like. There's a good bit of moving to do. But I just wanted to show what kind of our airflow is like. You can see not a lot of dust down there. Dust is mostly up here. We were blowing this way, but we'll see will it move a bit. There's no wind out, so you can see it's actually cleared there now. Just there is cleared, but from there to there.
From that end.
Do you? Yeah. But it's nearly gone there now. It's just about gone, just like that. And that's just kind of show the airflow in the shed. And this is brings me to another one of our things this year. Probably one of the biggest changes we're making is we're going to be working with a vet on rearing the calves this year. When I get the stations in and we're finished in here, he's going to be coming to do, I know he's coming to do airflow test, but I'm not sure whether it's smoke bomb test. Now, I might be away with the pipes, but I let my lovely assistant here, my wife, Liv, film a bit if he wants to be filmed while doing airflow tests in the shed, but he's coming out to help us. So now we gotta move a lot of straw because most of it is on top on the other side of that pail, and throw it up there and move our 3 boys up into this corner, and that dust is gone. And 2 minutes 23 seconds, yeah, 2 minutes 23 seconds since I got jumped out of the tractor. So we'll move that stuff up here, we'll move them calves up there, and then just have to block off the bottom end of that shed there, because I need to be using away at that straw. We're currently using 2 bales of straw a day to bed the rest of the cattle. I'll just block off it across there, and once we get enough of straw out there, then I'll finish it off and we'll give the calves the rest of the space, because it's going to be about 2 or 3 weeks before we have all the calves in this shed, and there'll be about between 120 and 130 calves going into this shed. And when we get bulls away, once we get one shed of bulls cleared, we'll move all the hay out, and then the calves will get the extra spacing. Same as last year in that regards. We have one other job to do, and this boils down to having an American with us last year, Chuck. He come out to give us some advice on ventilation and that, and the one thing he suggested with this shed was we have good airflow coming in, but it all goes to the highest point up there and there's nowhere for it to get out. So we're going to do something with one of the end gable sheets there, whether we take it off, push it out, do something that leaves a larger hole for air that gets up there to get out, and hopefully then that draws out more bad air. But I don't think it's too bad by how quickly the dust went out of the shed, but we're going to do that anyways. And there's a couple of other things and advice Chuck gave us. We'll cover them as we go along.
Come on, I'm hungry.
Yes, okay. Keep the wife happy, isn't that it? Great, they got that getting done anyways. You have to fill up tanks with water. Good night.
Turn me and I.
Why? Oh. And where'd you learn this one? The Chief Shepherdess. So Liv's gonna feed them there now. I'm gonna redistribute straw, get the brush this up, brush out a pile of muck outside there, and just keep rooting away at it. But it is dark now, and Father Phil's job Monday is going to be, one of them isn't working and that one there isn't working, so we'll get him to look after them. But other than that, not looking too bad, Liv, is it? Where did you find something, Nelly? Find a mouse. So it's the next morning. Liv is doing the day feeding. I'm going to put in the feeders now. I'm putting the drinker. So put back in our bowl drinker, and then bolt in the feeders. We won't be plumbing it because we have to get new pipes on Monday, tomorrow, and change them all, putting the new pipes into it. The lads are quite happy there. And then bit of a sweep and tidy up out there, leave it looking a bit nicer. But anyways, we get stuck into it.
Everything I need, and I got it all right here. That's what it is. That's where it's at. That's what I like. Nothing wrong with that. Don't wanna bust my groove, 'cause I'm on a roll. Just having a good time, going with the flow. Going with the flow. Andy, Barney, Aunt B.O.P. fishing poles and boats. Pontoon Sunday afternoons, anything that floats. Bo and Luke and all the dukes, dirt roads on TV. Radios and rodeos, works just fine for me. That's what it is. That's where it's at. That's what I like. Nothing wrong with that. Don't wanna bust my groove, 'cause I'm on a roll. Just having a good time, going with the flow.
And now, that is feeders in, tied in, pipes ready to be taken, water supply to the feeder, tub of disinfectant for dipping. Have to get the bucket of telly to get that gone. Space for our pallet of meal and milk replacer. I am missing the rubber insert off the end of that to seal it on that, so I have to find that. And the feeder is in, turned on. Need to get a bit of a rag and just give it a bit of a clean off. Next then is do some with that sheet up there. And once that's done, a couple of gates that were washed yesterday, bring them up, put them along there, and just bring them all up here so we'll have them. We're ready for calves. We are ready for calves. Now I have 3 there, but you know what I mean.
Fireflies in the pasture on a starlit southern night. That's what it is. That's where...
And now, another bit done. Them 3 boys now lost in them there. Just after stripping the feeders there. So we have all pipes there for going to the bin. And we have our mixing bowls, our little bowls that's on each feeder there, to go inside, to get washed, and left steeping in Milton to just disinfect them. So went through the feeder. Feeder isn't connected to the stations. The feeder's not showing any faults. It's been running on standby all winter. All looks good, connected to water. Little bit of a leak that I have to give a plumber's tape or something for. Shed is ready. So have to move around some more of the straw. Still most of it is there. Yeah. But we're blocking it off there. There's still straw behind that, so when we get 60-80 calves in, that's when, well, by then it'll be about 2 weeks time, we'll have most of the straw gone from their side of that, so we'll be able to expand it down there. But we'll have our chicanes are in. So first load of calves is coming tomorrow. I have our power washed sheep gates sitting there waiting to go in. Gathered up my best stuff. Footbath is down, ready to go. Gates are washed so that when I see exactly how many, I could have a full trailer load of 20, could have 15. I'm not sure how many the farmer is ready, but we'll pen off our area for them accordingly so we can get them trained in. We won't be giving them the full run of the shed to start because they need to be trained onto the feeder, especially with them coming a month old, and that's probably one of the biggest things about them being a month old. They could be quite hard got onto the feeder because they're being institutionalized to being fed when someone's there and being fed 2 times, twice a day at certain times, so they can take a lot to break that cycle. Pipes are coming in the mornings to get put in, so we'll put on a wash cycle once the pipes go on it and rinse it 2 or 3 times before we pick up calves in the evening. Milk replacer obviously hasn't come yet, nor the meal. That's coming tomorrow as well. Again, Liffey Mills Elvor this year and Liffey Mills Calf 18. Going with Elvor again, it seems to be more protein equals better calves. We can see it in what we're killing at the minute, and the weanlings in the shed. Oh man, there's some of them are massive. Kind of where we are at the minute. all basically, there's calves coming tomorrow. We just have to get our pipes in. The vet's coming tomorrow to have a look at the shed. The meal and milk replacer's coming tomorrow. Everything is kind of happening tomorrow, but that is for the video where the calves come, and this is just getting ready, and we are basically there again, like always. We're not really last minute. It's just kind of how things are working out for us. That's it. So we went through some of the things we'll be doing differently this year. Some of them major enough. There is more things we'll be doing differently, but that's better talked about when the things arrive, when the calves are here. There's a lot of things, so leave your opinions down below how much of a difference it'll make. And yeah, also don't forget to leave your sows. Fit as many sows into a comment. Some of them are absolutely brilliant. Yes, another thing that we were hoping to have done for in here is we have actually bought a new feeder. But when I say bought, we've ordered the feeder, and the feeder's in the country, but the problem we have at the minute is the grant hasn't come through yet, or the grant, you have to get proof of the grant before you can put in the feeder, so you get the grant, if that makes any sense. And the TAMS grant, it's worth a nice, that is 40% of the cost of the feeder, so it's worth a few £. So we just have to wait for that to come through, and we were hoping we'd have it in for the first shed, but hasn't happened. We still have our 2 feeders, because we were just to make sure that everything goes through and we can get that one, and then we'll sell one of our feeders. But hopefully we'll have it in for the other shed about 3 weeks time before the other shed will be needing to get it ready to go. But until then, we're going to leave it at that for today's video. We'll catch up with you in the next one when the calves have arrived, and fill you in on more things that have changed in this year's rearing cycle to see can we make some significant improvements. Anyways, we're going to leave it at that. As always, please like and subscribe to the channel. Videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. That's it from me. Good luck.